2009 Chevy Express 2500 with the 4.8 V8, and today we're going to be replacing the oil pan gasket. Let's get to it. First thing we need to do to remove the oil pan from this vehicle is to go ahead and drain the engine oil. I've already done this, so we'll move on to the next step, which would be to isolate the oil pan. So we need to get these cooling lines, the oil cooling lines, off right here by removing this distribution block with these two 10mm bolts. That should just be able to pull it right off of there, and then we'll be able to separate these lines on this side. Now, on the opposite side, we have the transmission cooling lines that run the length of the transmission and come along to the side of the engine. Now, if you look closely, you can see that these actually just pop off, but they do kind of hurt your hand a little bit. Or you can remove the 10mm bolt right here. I've done it both ways, and what I found to be a lot easier is to actually pop these off of their tray, because when they're individual you can move them a lot easier, and I usually try to zip tie them over this way, usually in here, or to the engine mount right here, just to try to get them out of the way and to be as gentle as possible with them as well, obviously. After that, we can go ahead and remove the two bolts in the back of the transmission that hold the oil pan. I believe those to be 15s, but don't quote me on that. I'll have the correct millimeters when we get there. And then we can go ahead and remove the 10mm bolts around the entire perimeter. And we might need to do something with this wiring harness right here, but I don't think that'd be too difficult. So let's get to it. Now for the front part of this, a little bit difficult to see, but there is a plastic clip holding this wiring harness on. That's going to need to be removed so we can access the 10mm nut that's underneath of it. Just go somewhere, screwdriver. I don't think it's a 10. It's a 12. It is in fact a 13. Unnecessary. And it's supposed to be a nut to remove, but it looks like I pulled the bolt out instead. And now you can see this whole thing for the oil cooling lines is loose. Make sure you got yourself a catch can to catch all that extra oil that's going to drain out. Grab our flathead screwdriver. Just gonna start prying some of these things on out of here. Thank you. There we go. And like I said, with these removed, go ahead and just grab one at a time, and you'll be able to move them out of the way a lot easier. And I'm probably just going to throw a zip tie on there. Go ahead and remove this harness clip. It's just a little piece of plastic that gets stuck in there. You can zip tie that all together too, that'd be awesome. And as you can see, what I've basically done is just zip tied these bars out of the way, or I'm sorry, these cooling lines out of the way, and that harness that wraps around the front of the engine, I've got this side of it zip tied out of the way, which I believe that goes up to the starter. Yeah, it goes to the starter and a couple sensors. So this side's clear, the other side's clear. Let's work on the front and finish isolating this, and then we'll be ready to drop this pan. And on the front, we've got ourselves our, I believe this is the harness that leads to the crankshaft positioning sensor. We can go ahead, just unplug that by pulling down on this piece right here. That'll pop on out. There's only 3 of them. And the harness is free. We got one 10mm bolt right here. So this piece right here, you can see has a pin in it. This actually slides up right here and then into a little slot right here. So you just push it this way and it pops right out. See that little hole? That's where that dowel goes. All right, so the front's clear. I don't think this is going to be too much of a fight, but I might try to put a zip tie on this just to hold it out of the way, so it's just easier. I don't have to deal with it, but I don't think I need to add that into the video. I think you guys know how to work zip ties. Back here, these 2 bolts, this one right here and this one right here, are 15mm. Go ahead and remove those. Put them up in our magnet tray. And I'm pretty sure the only thing we got left is those 10mm. So let's go ahead and drop this pan. But we're basically just gonna go around here and start dropping these 10s. And these should be the last 2. We have these extremely long ones. These are right here on the back. Oop. Oh, yeah, the whole thing just came loose. I'll move these out of the way. Oh, dang. All right, and there we go. Oh, that's heavy. Ah, shit. And real quick before we get to work on the oil pan, I'm gonna come in here with some brake clean. Move my camera out of the way first. And go all the way around where that pan seals. I'm gonna come in here with a rag. Just help wipe that stuff down. Try to make sure we have a nice clean surface for the new gasket to adhere to. There we go. And once you're done removing the rivets, come back here with some brake clean. Give this whole thing a real nice spray down. Make sure we get all that metal out of there. right, let's go ahead and open up our new gasket. The Felt Pro Oscar Sierra 30693 Romeo. And with that, our oil pan is cleaned and ready to be reinstalled. And when reinstalling the oil pan, you're going to want to install the bolts in a crisscross method. As you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to be going from side to side, starting at the innermost bolts. But for those of us who are perfectionists, here is the guide in order of which bolt to put down. Ignore this 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's for the lower oil pan, which we obviously did not do. So just worry about these outer numbers here. And the torque spec is 18 foot-pounds for these bolts. And after you're done installing your oil pan, go ahead and reinstall everything in the reverse order that we removed it from, and you'll be golden. If you'd like to see more videos on this vehicle, go ahead and check out that one next. I made that one just for you. If this video helps you out, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We will see you all next time.